Peace, fam. Back with another video you did. We're getting right into it. This video, I want to talk about, and this is something that really changed my life. I'd say probably top 3 or top 5 things that really changed my life. Being able to unlock different paradigms of thought and different paradigms of you know what I'm saying, ways of thinking. You feel me? Because what I've noticed, people get so locked in one particular lane of paradigm, and they're not able to shift into different paradigms. Therefore, they be so stuck and locked in on this one thing that they believe, and they're not able to see it in different ways because they're stuck in that one paradigm. Once I was able to break through those different paradigms, and this kind of happened around my spiritual awakening, bro, it's like a whole different universe opened up for me, bro. Because when you're able to step into different paradigms mentally, it's like you don't have any limitations on what, you know what I'm saying, what you can understand, because you're able to tap into different paradigms. So as opposed to my old self, where I would be so closed-minded to certain things and will only think a certain way about certain things, now the unlocked paradigms, I can tap into 3 different occurrences or 4 different outcomes of this one situation that I once thought only had one outcome, you know what I'm saying, coming from it. But when you're able to see things from different lenses, different perspectives, different viewpoints, different paradigm, you see things so differently, and you're able to understand things in such a different manner, because you understand that everybody is not going to see things from the same lens that you see it from. So until you're able to understand that, you'll continue to be in this locked paradigm, and this locked paradigm doesn't really allow you to, in my opinion, be at your best self. Because I'm telling you, when you're able to understand different or look at situations in multiple different ways, that alone unlocks your creativity, because you're able to see things in different ways. So if you're able to see things in different ways in situations, things that you may want to work on, you're able to, work on things in different ways, create things in different ways, because you don't have a locked paradigm. You don't have a locked paradigm. So now when you don't have a locked paradigm, you're able to see things that's going on in the world, and you're like, okay, I see it like that, but I also see it like this. So I also see it like this too. So now you're at a place of being non-judgmental. And that's what I realized with a lot of people, and I'll say this, I see this on TikTok a lot. A lot of people who speak on their religion, you know what I'm saying, they kind of contradict themselves in a sense. Because here's the thing, they come from a certain perspective that it's my religion or no other religion. But it's like, you're in a locked paradigm. Just because that person doesn't believe the same religion that you believe in, what necessarily makes that person wrong because you said so? That's showing that you're in a locked paradigm. Now, I have no problem with a person going on there and saying, hey, this is what I believe in. Cool. But when you get on there saying this is the only right religion, who's to say that that's the case? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, what makes you the person that's allowed to say what's the right religion or what's not the right religion? For all we know, none of them could be. If we're being honest, you dig what I'm saying? So once you're able to unlock different paradigms and understand different viewpoints and different ways of where people are coming from, you open up a whole different world. That's why I'm able to talk to people from different religions and understand people from different religions, and at the same time not be judgmental. Because you're able to understand that people come from different perspectives, people come from different backgrounds, people have different experiences that lead them to these certain beliefs, and I understand that. But when you're only in your understanding and you're not able to tap into other people's understanding and paradigm, you're going to continue to have that locked mindset. And a lot of people who think they're so intelligent, it's not really the case. It's not really the case. Excuse me. They're just in that locked paradigm consistently, so they constantly drilled into their head that, hey, whatever I say is right and nothing else is right. Now look, I have no problem with a person believing in their truth, but we're not able to respect somebody else's opinion. That's where the problem comes in at. Because a person like me, no one can change my belief system unless I believe it within. And you should be the same way. Nobody should be able to change your belief system. If you don't believe something within, regardless of how intelligent that person sounds, if you don't feel that within, don't believe it. Everyone's entitled to believe their own truth. You feel me? But when you get to the point to where you don't respect other people's opinions and you bash a person for believing in a certain way or thinking a certain way, it's like who are you to tell that person that they can't think that way or believe in that way, or that your way is the only right way? The audacity of you. And the people who do that, bro, I'm telling you, I done been on the TikTok live that I just sit back and listen. They don't really be even making much sense, or they don't even be giving valid points. They just talk, and they talk loud, and they say the same thing constantly. And they'll say things that try to confuse people, but at the same time, just be like, you're not really saying nothing. You're speaking from your ego because you want other people to validate what you're thinking, because you're not all the way sure what you're believing in. Me personally, I really don't speak on my beliefs to nobody, because I'm content in what I believe in, and honestly, what I believe in everything and nothing at the same time. And I'm content with believing in that, because our human mind, which is attached to the ego sometimes, our ego gets to a certain place to where it starts to think, oh, that I know everything, or that we got to understand the things. But in actuality, a lot of things that we think we know, we really only understand probably 1% of all knowledge within the universe, bro. Knowledge is infinite. So a lot of things that we think we understand, we probably be so far off. Just think about it. I'm not saying we actually are, but just think about it. It's a possibility that a lot of things that we think we understand or think that we know, we probably be far left field. Because one, knowledge is infinite, and two, we don't know everything. So just because you have constantly drilled this certain ideology and way of thinking into your head, that doesn't mean other people have to accept it as truth. Everyone has their own mind, therefore everyone can think in their own way. That's what I'm here. If y'all don't get nothing else from this channel, I just want y'all to take away from this. I'm here to get you to think. I'm not here to get you to believe the same things I believe in, to think the way I think. I'm here to help you open your mind more. That's all I want you to do, is to start thinking on your own more. I don't care if you never believe with one thing I say on here. If I get you to start thinking more, I've done my job. That's all I want you to do. Yeah, I believe in certain things, and I think certain things is to be true, but that's not important. And if I do speak on those things, I'm not expecting you to believe or think the same way I think. That's just my perspective, my paradigm. You feel me? And I'm able to shift into different paradigms to go down different perspectives and viewpoints on one topic. So therefore, that's why I can have conversations with damn near all races and culture of people, bro, because I'm able to shift into different paradigms and different ways of thinking, to where it's like I'm so versatile mentally, to where it's like I'm a non-judgmental person when different topics come up to hand, because I can see things in different ways. I can take my glasses off and put on another person's glasses. I can see from different angles and viewpoints. You feel me? And to get metaphysically, this whole existence that we're in, it's just light reflected in a certain way. So everything that you see is condensed energy and light reflected in a certain way. So we're able to see things from different angles. you're able to manipulate the light and energy in certain ways for you to see it in different ways. But I ain't gonna get too deep into that. I was gonna say that for a later video. You dig? But it comes down to this. It comes back down to that ego. If you're not able to control that ego and say, hey, I'm going to put you aside and I'm going to learn, I'm going to tap into these different perspectives. I'm going to tap into different paradigms, different ways of thinking. Not to say that I'm going to change my current state of thinking or my current viewpoint on certain things, but I want to, you know what I'm saying? I want to explore and see what other people think. Because you can learn something from anybody and everybody. Whether it's you can learn knowledge or you can learn what not to do. You can learn something from anybody. You feel me? So we going into an age period where if you got a locked mindset, you're not going to make it, because a lot of stuff that's going to be going down, we've always been told that certain things wasn't possible. So if you're in a locked mindset, a locked state of mind, when these things happen, you can be like, it's going to blow your top off. It's going to blow your top off because you were so conditioned into thinking, hey, only this thing can happen. Just because you can't see certain things, that doesn't mean these things can't and aren't already happening. It's things that's happening that our blind eye can't see because, again, with the light thing, the human eye is only able to see a certain percentage on the light spectrum. You know what I'm saying? So everything that's going on in this current realm that we in, we can't even see it all because our retina doesn't even pick it up on the complete light scale. You feel me? So it gets deep. This is why I'm telling people, like, this information really get deep. So when you understand how deep this knowledge get, when you really go down that rabbit hole, I think that's what really made me kind of start being accepting to all viewpoints, because I understand how deep this knowledge gets. So it's like, bro, the rabbit hole goes through so many different lanes, and it's like, how can I be so self-centered and conceited to think that this one simple viewpoint that I have is the truth when I've ventured down these different lanes and I've seen how, you know what I'm saying, deep knowledge gets. So it's like, I would be a fool to continue to be locked in my singular frame of paradigm. But this only happens when you really understand how deep knowledge get. You feel me? If you never really start seeking knowledge, you don't really understand how, you know, okay, yeah, this, you feel me? It's much more complex than we make it to seem. And the reason why people made it complex to seem, people wanted to make it simple. People wanted to make it seem so simple, this existence, this, you know what I'm saying, human experience that we having, because they didn't want you to think. They don't want you to think. You being in a locked paradigm, it makes an easy society to control. Just think about it. If they tell you to do a certain thing and you just do it, no rebuttal, no backlash, no talk back, none of that, you just do it, that's an easy society to control. That's an easy society to manage. A society with, let's just say this, a society with, we won't even say 100%, a society with 25 to 30% independent thinkers. That's dangerous. That's dangerous. It don't even gotta be 50%. 20 to 25%, 30, maybe, I say 20%. 20% of the world as independent thinkers. That's dangerous, bro. That's dangerous. Facts. Because independent thinkers are so impactful on others around them unintentionally. Because independent thinkers don't necessarily always force their ways of thinking on other people. They just speak their truth. And you speaking your truth sparks something in that person's brain. It could be the smallest thing that sparks somebody's viewpoint in their brain. And each person is different. You feel me? So I be good off all these tangents, but it just come back down to the point of it's so powerful when we're able to tap into different paradigms and different ways of thinking, and you're able to listen to other people's viewpoints from a non-judgmental standpoint. That's the key, to be able to hear other people's viewpoints, other people's ways of thinking without being judgmental. That's when you know you're completely ready to learn and open for knowledge. Because if you're still being judgmental, that means you're still operating your ego. So no matter how much or how important that person, the knowledge that person is speaking, you won't be able to accept it internally or even be able to digest it and take away the meat and leave the bones, because you're completely dismissing it because of your ego. You're still attached to your egotistical way of thinking, to where I'm not even gonna really listen to what that person saying because I know what I'm saying is true. How do you know? Oh, I just know. Okay. So I'm at the point in my life I can't even speak to somebody who's not open-minded. If you're not open, it's just certain things that I don't even really discuss with people anymore, just because they're so close-minded, and because they don't think that way, they think your way of thinking is wrong just because they don't think that way. Just think about how egotistical that sounds. Because a person doesn't think the same way you think, that person is wrong. Whole time you could be wrong. But guess what? Your ego ain't gonna allow you to think you're wrong, because you just this special person who know everything. And like I said before, majority of those people who move like that, act like that, they really be on the surface level of information. They be swearing they be knowing so much, but I'm just like, that's surface information. Everybody know that. You ain't really talking about nothing. You just throw a couple big words in there, but when I break it down, what you just said something so simple. People get lost in this jargon and start to think they really intelligent and smart. No, you're just saying a bunch of nonsense. Your base viewpoint was, I understood what you're saying in the first couple words. All this extra stuff you just added on to heighten, you know what I'm saying, what people thought of what you were saying. But when you break it down, that was really simple. You feel me? So don't be one of those people who's so close-minded to where they can't understand where people are coming from in different occasions and different instances. Because I'm telling you, when you unlock them paradigms, it's a superpower. It's really a superpower. And specifically speaking towards me, I always give an example dealing with me, like with my creativity, bro. Like before 2020, I was creative in a sense. But bro, after I kind of had that enlightenment phase and I just broke away from just my singular paradigm, bro, my designs be off the wall. That's what I can't wait to y'all get to see some of my designs that I created with View Beyond, bro. I've been in my bag, and I give a lot of credit towards me being able to tap in different paradigms and me not having a barrier around my mind. I was able to break that barrier around my mind, so there's no limitations on what I can think of creativity in the sense of creativity. Excuse me, bro. In the sense of creativity, there's nothing I can't think of. You feel me? Because I don't have any limitations on what I think about. I just allow things to exist and be within my mind. And I allow things to create. I don't, when an idea come up in my head that may seem, outlandish or off the wall, or just like, in terms of creativity wise, I don't, dismiss it. I allow it to continue to form, because I'm able to go into the different paradigms and exist comfortably. I don't go into different paradigms. See, a lot of people go into different paradigms, and because they're not accustomed to this way of paradigm, they panic and they remove themselves from that paradigm. I'm able to exist comfortably in the unknown, and I'm gonna make a video about that walking into the unknown. But I'm able to exist comfortably in these unknown paradigms because I don't have any limitations or barriers. So I'm not scared for my mind to go into certain places. You feel me? Because I understand knowledge is infinite. And when knowledge is infinite, you can never know everything. Peace.